What's up? Sorry about the blue light. So I dabbled a little bit with the what is it, the 1.8.16, and now today they came out with 1.8.17. 1.6 was okay. It doesn't do the parallel testing on the benchmark, and the pay rates were lower. Now I did 1.7 this morning on this and the 6-card older rig, and on the 6-card older rig, anything CC minor, anything, don't know why, but anything CC minor on these older cards was going to shit. These are 460s and up, and they're using the latest NVIDIA driver since it supports 400 cards and up, and it wouldn't run them. It just wouldn't do it at all. And I noticed issues with, of course, again, also the pay rate, and just with benchmarking the cards on the 1060 rig, it would not benchmark. It would just sit there hung on the processor. It also does not do the parallel processing, parallel benching at the same time, but it wouldn't get off benching the processor. It just wouldn't continue no matter what mode you had. So I went back to 1.8.2 pre-2, and everything benchmarked fine. The install was fine. Picking up the network, it's been launching it, getting actually into nicehash has been a little struggle. The pay rates still, again, haven't been great, but Legacy 2, you can actually install it. You can actually benchmark old cards and new cards, within like a half an hour or less. It takes a lot less time because it'll do the parallel benching, and it switches the algorithms more aggressively. Like, hands down, it's already switched twice. So right now we're only at 1026, including almost $1 from the processor, but it should switch real soon here. But yeah, for now, and of course I have been playing a little bit more with Legacy, or with nicehash Miner 2, the latest version. Not really liking it either. And this is just see, that pay rate was too low, and it knows it, so it switches off very quickly. Now it's going to Dagger, and all 4 GPUs on Dagger. And this one tests out more stably too. When you run even the parallel testing, but when you run even precise, you get more algorithms tested out correctly. And I just had nothing but weird. Even on this machine, NAST5 wouldn't test out on the other versions, but NAST5 tests out perfectly fine on the 3 and the 6 gig cards, perfectly stable, perfectly fine. So we got 1162, so 1068 on this, 88 mega and 0.885 on Dagger. So let's see, 220, 221, 220, 221. Yeah, not bad. So yeah, I'm definitely sticking with Legacy 2. I have that on all the other smaller 1 and 2 card systems that I run, and I'm going to keep continuing to do that. But you would think that a beta software would be more unstable, but they seem to be light years ahead. And I gotta say this too, on the pay rate too. Now mind you, 1.7 came out today, so I don't know the profitability, but I've been hitting 1.0s and 1.1s for 3 days now with 1.6, and these rigs have been running stable, and that's the reason why I decided to dick with them, because the pay rate was too low. I'm not getting my typical 1.3 when everything is fine, and I'm definitely not getting 1.6 mine Bitcoin when the market was up, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and everything was just killing it. So there you go. That's the little update. Yeah. So on this rig, I'm just finishing up the benchmarks. I'm getting a lot more. Again, I'm getting a lot more cards that are Equihash, of course not. I'm getting a lot more cards that are actually passing the tests correctly. It's not crashing on the tests. It's grinding through everything. My two 460s have been stable. Even my overclocks, like this 560, if you push it too hard, or if the program pushes it too hard, it'll go and it'll lock the card at 405, and it won't come up or down from that. And some cards will do that. And this card is actually not clocked right. I'm fighting with Afterburner to try to run 6 cards correctly. And yeah, see, it dipped down to 405, so it's probably done testing, and then it'll back down. But if we take this card and we set it for our profile number 5, just for this card, it won't set, it won't stay. If it does, it seems to go away. It's a struggle, and I'm looking for an actual Afterburner. Sometimes works and it sometimes doesn't. The way I have it right now, it'll come up and it won't load any of the 5 profiles. The two 460s make up one profile, number 4. So I bring the card up to 1 460, I hit 4. I bring the card up at 560, I hit 5, you know. You can't group this stuff together, and it does not seem to actually start up with Windows or run automatically, and then in some cases it does not seem to actually put in these values. So this one's been hit and applied, and it doesn't put in the value. So I don't know, it's interesting. So I'm continuing to play with that, and I'm looking for other software that actually might work. But for now we're gonna mine, and I'll pause it and I'll come back in just a second to get some numbers. Alright, so right off the bat, I just had to uncheck one algorithm that it decided to continue to check. It may be a testable algorithm, but right now on Skunk, really not getting anything. What is Skunk doing? Skunk, when everything is set right, yeah, there we go. Skunk should be, if I really push the card, I can get like 11.5. Again, the cards are kind of all over the place, and one card may have dropped down to that slower speed because it's pushed too hard, but I'm going to continue to tweak with that. Oh yeah, 11.13. So now, again, with a load on the video card, that's at 922, and like boom, and boom. That's 840, but it's still 922, and that's really too hot for this card. Eventually, this card, no matter how cool the room is, the power is, it's going to drop down. The 740 will do the same thing. 740 kills it. It typically runs Dagger by itself at like 4.4, and it hits, you know, 40-60 cents. But 11,286 is pretty good for those 5 cards together. And then the processor, 5657. This will hit 200. I might have to do a little tweaking again. I believe I do for this version of the software to get it to run all the cores correctly. But so far, this machine's running like it should. And this machine, when the market was good, was in the 270s. But yeah, right now it's kind of a struggle just to get it above 2. So when Dagger finally decides to do something here and drop us some cash, we'll have some numbers on that. But just a little update for now. It's been kind of shitty for miners, and nicehash is a huge platform. And this switched over to Lyra. So yeah, it's being pretty reactive. So yeah, but it's a struggle, but everything's been good and stable. I added another power supply to run these 2 last cards. Just take some of the load off the main power supply. So, but if anybody's got any suggestions on overclocking utilities, or maybe a specific older version of Afterburner that may work better for a 740 and below, maybe, you know, I'm focusing on too new of a version. So now just X11 Ghost. I've seen Ghost push some serious cash when somebody does a transaction. It kicks it right in, and oh my god, I've seen this make some bank. So yeah, anyway, I'll go bye.